Is this thing on? Can anybody hear me? And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lone Star Alliance Division I quarterfinals. We welcome you here to Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex in Melissa, Texas, alongside Tom McGee. This is Brian Shackelford as we bring you our second quarterfinal of the evening. This matchup between the Missouri Tigers and the Texas A&M Aggies. And an opening goal already scored by Missouri, 1-0 the lead for the Tigers. And Tom, as we get set for this game already underway and in progress, this looks to be a matchup of two very evenly matched teams with another quarterfinal spot on the line tomorrow afternoon.
You're exactly right, Brian. These Missouri Tigers bring a 5-7 record to bear, and our A&M Aggies that are sitting on the near side have a 7-7 record. So we'll see how things transpire this evening.
And the ball off the post, and now a goal for A&M as A&M ties the score at 1. We'll take a look at the replay to get the goal.
The sun is setting out here in Melissa, Texas.
Well,
the
picked
lights
up,
are on.
Thrown in. The player went by so fast I couldn't tell who that was with the goal, but it is tied at 1 for about 3 seconds. And now a goal for Missouri as they take a 2-1 lead.
Just a heads-up play on Mizzou, taking it to the cage right off the face-off and making something happen.
Yeah, that goal scored by number 23, Garrett Ye, who is one of the leading goal scorers for Missouri.
Yeah,
Ye already with 11 goals on the season. And that was his 12th right there, Tom.
Yeah, Ye come from a successful high school program, and they're glad to have him on this squad.
So 2-1 the advantage for Missouri. Missouri, the number 3 team, the number 3 seed out of the North Division, taking on Texas A&M, the number 2 seed from the South Division. But these are very evenly matched teams here this evening, as both of these teams come into play tonight, having lost 3 of their last 5 games. A&M, however, with 4 victories on the season, but all 4 victories, Tom, in Lone Star Alliance Division I South play, which gave them a 4-1 record in division on the season, giving them the number 2 seed. Missouri, likewise, also losing 3 out of their last 5, and they needed a crucial win last week against the Baylor Bears just to punch their ticket into the playoff tournament.
Isn't that amazing how these things transpire? Anything on any given day can happen.
And so now these 2 teams meet here with the right to face off in the semifinal. They'll take on the winner of the other semifinal happening right now over on our other field between the Kansas Jayhawks and the LSU Tigers. And folks, we'll try to get you score updates from the other field when we have time. But in the meantime, we'll stay focused here as Missouri with possession. They're down to 60 on the shot clock and just under 10 minutes remaining in the opening quarter.
Number 11, Luke Griffith trying to make something happen, get the ball turned around.
Griffith working on the far side with number 7, Anthony Arnold. A loose ball picked up by number 7 for the Aggies. Oh, pardon me, that is Anthony Arnold. Luke Auble wearing number 7 for Missouri. And now a quick shot and a goal for A&M. That's number 12, Ryan Squire, and he'll even the score at 2. Take a look here on the replay. Squire with a nice jump shot right over the top of the net of the Mizzou goalkeeper, number 12, Zach Gowert.
Is that number 12?
I have Ryan Squire, but you have Austin Gideon, so no, that's the wrong. Okay, we'll get you the right roster. They fooled you on that one.
I hate getting fooled.
Well, that's why that famous band wrote that song, "We Won't Get Fooled Again."
Yeah.
So now Missouri in possession here in a tie game, 2-2, with just under 9 minutes remaining in our first quarter. As this is the second set of quarterfinals here this evening from the Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex in Melissa, number 27, with the save for the Aggies. And now the Aggies will charge forward.
We're seeing a fast-paced game from the get-go, Brian, and I think these Aggies are going to keep up the tempo as this game progresses.
Yeah, this very, very different from our last game between TCU and Oklahoma, where they were trying to slow things down. These 2 teams very content to play a fast break style of offense here this evening and at the Z-Plex in Melissa. So working on the far side, number 23, Connor Milne, the leading goal scorer for the Aggies. That pass deflected by number 45 for Missouri.
Less than 20 seconds left on the shot clock. A&M still trying to move the ball in towards the end, and we get a shot on goal.
And the shot clock will reset as it drew iron. So play stopped briefly here with 7:22 remaining in the first quarter, and a fresh 80 on the shot clock for Texas A&M. A quick shot and a goal with the score, number 5, Connor Cooper for the Aggies.
Cooper looked up top, looked down low, came back up top and made that play happen. He had a straight, pretty much straight path right into the goal. Very well done.
Able to get the ball past the goalkeeper, and now a 3-2 advantage for Texas A&M here with just over 7 minutes remaining in our first quarter.
Connor Cooper, of course, from Round Rock Westwood High School there, just outside of Austin. Good school program down there.
Yeah, Westwood, one of the teams perennially in the Texas High School Lacrosse League Division I playoffs. So you can see why Cooper is a credit here to the Aggie program. So now Mizzou back on the attack. They have 60 on the shot clock. And just over 6 minutes remaining. The deflection taken by A&M as number 13, Jared Cordova, will move the ball forward for the Aggies. Cordova marked by number 34, Johnny Adel. And Cordova, goal line extended on the far side, looking for somewhere to get rid of the ball. He'll look in front. A shot just over the top of goal. It draws iron. It'll reset the shot clock. As number 23 for the Aggies, Connor Milne, in a fight for the ball, and Mizzou will take possession. Number 13 charging forward, Bennett Brenny. As Brenny looks to get a shot on goal, but he has the ball taken away, stolen by the long stick midi, Caden Bender. And now Bender charging forward for Texas A&M.
Yeah,
a shot from distance by Milne, saved by the goalkeeper, Gowert. And Gowert will quickly outlet to number 21, Max Kramer.
Just some more up-tempo game.
Yes, both of these teams definitely playing an up-tempo style, as that pass stolen in midair by number 29, Hunter Rogers.
Surveying the field. Matt Bayer trying to make something happen as he goes behind the goal.
Yeah, 58 on the shot clock for Texas A&M, as coming out of X, Matt Bayer. They'll go all the way back up top to Connor Cooper, who has one of the 3 goals in the game for A&M. We move under 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter still. Texas A&M 3, Missouri 2, as Bayer will work goal line extended on the near side. Now the quick pass to Connor Legg, and they go back to the other side with Connor Milne. A deflection stolen by Missouri. And Missouri quickly on the attack, charging forward, Max Kramer. The long stick midi for Mizzou. And that loose ball, that ground ball, won by number 6, Brett Mays.
So 2 turnovers right in a row.
Mays to Max Bayer, shot and a goal. So A&M able to capitalize on the fast break, as number 22, Matt Bayer, will extend the Aggie lead.
That was a good one by Max. He comes from California High School out of San Rafael, furthering his education down here in Texas.
And folks, your new score with 4:20 remaining in our first quarter here at the Z-Plex in Melissa. It's Texas A&M Aggies 4, Missouri Tigers 2. And quickly A&M wins another faceoff. And Connor Milne back on the attack for the Aggies. They work goal line extended on the far side with number 12, Ryan Squire. And he'll roll the ball back toward midfield. Popped up, almost stolen by Missouri. Now a ground ball. And that ground ball won by number 4, James Wong of the Tigers. Wong trying to get across the timeline. He does with 4 seconds to spare. And now Wong on the attack down the far sideline. Goal line extended. They work now back in X, the Tigers do. They come all the way out on the near side with number 1, Bryce Sullivan. Sullivan working on the near side. He's marked by number 6, Brett Mays. Just into the game, number 17, Brendan Brewster for the Tigers. He'll try to make a move up top. And that shot wide of goal goes out of bounds And the Tigers will bring the ball back into play. 46 on the shot clock. 3:16 remaining in quarter number 1.
Cotterer's been up top trying to make something happen, dish it down in. Hasn't been able to do so, and we get another turnover. A&M's going to take over on the turnover. And we have an injury timeout.
Yeah, we'll step aside here, an injury timeout. 3 minutes exactly remaining in our first quarter as we have an injury timeout on the field. And folks, this will give us a moment to bring you up to speed on the lineup for tomorrow afternoon for semifinal Saturday here on Game On Sports Network. We'll start our coverage at 10 a.m. Central Time. That'll be 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. out on the West Coast. For a full slate of games, we'll start at 10 a.m. with the Division III semifinals, to be followed at 1 p.m. Central by the Division II semifinals, as Texas A&M's Division II team will face off against the Tulane Green Wave. Also in Division II semifinal action, the East Texas Baptist Tigers will face off against the Missouri State Bears. We'll follow that up with 2 more games for you here on Game On Sports at 4 p.m. It will be the Division I semifinals. As we know 2 of the semifinalists, one of the games will be the Texas Longhorns facing off against the Texas Christian Horned Frogs. And the second matchup will be decided in these quarterfinal matches that are taking place now between this one here between A&M, Texas A&M and Missouri, and the other game over on the other field on our other Game On Sports channel between the Kansas Jayhawks and the LSU Tigers. So that's 6 full games on the slate tomorrow afternoon for you. Well, tomorrow, all day tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Division III semifinals at 10 a.m. Central, Division II semifinals at 1 p.m. Central, and the Division I semifinals at 4 p.m. Central. All for you here live and exclusive on Game On Sports Network.
We definitely invite you to come on down to see not only this complex, but these wonderful, great teams going at it. It's going to be an interesting match between the first game with the Horned Frogs. So you want to catch that with their decisive victory over the Sooners of Oklahoma just a little while ago.
Indeed, and in that same Division I semifinal, the TCU Horned Frogs will face off against the undefeated Texas Longhorns, who just improved their record on the season to 14-0 after a thorough thrashing of the Baylor Bears. We'll get you a final score on that. The last time we checked, I believe it was Texas 22, Baylor 6. Not sure if that ended up being the final score, but we'll get that clarified for you. So that's one of your 2 Division I semifinals tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Central here on Game On Sports. A Division I semifinal matchup between TCU and Texas. And number 10, Kane Hervey, gets some help off the field. He's a 6', 170-pound freshman from Batavia, Illinois. We'll check on that injury and hope that that's not too serious. But he is getting assisted to the sideline, Tom, and we never want to see that when we're out here on the turf playing lacrosse.
You know, you're absolutely right, and I'm surprised with this being the fastest game on 2 feet that we don't see more injuries like these. But this young man is tough and resilient, and we hope for the best for him.
And as he gets assistance to the sideline, we will resume play. 3:14 remaining in our first quarter as we'll resume action.
So A&M will clear the ball, Brian, and try and take another stab on goal. They're having a little issue and a turnover.
And now Missouri with possession as Bryce Sullivan on the turnover. He'll try to shoot low on the goalkeeper, and that goes out of bounds. Missouri back in X. They'll bring the ball back into play as we have 2:42 remaining here in the first quarter.
Zoo trying to be patient and clearing. They understand the aspect of working the ball in and getting a shot on the cage.
Mizzou now working on the near side. They'll try a shot and a goal, the wraparound goal for number 40 of the Tigers, Jack Salerno. A beautiful shot by Salerno, as we'll see here on the replay. Tommy comes out of X, whips it over his left shoulder into the top of the net. Beautiful shot right there into the top corner.
Sure was. Just a lot of patience. A lot of patience and trust in there to get him that rock and get it in the goal.
And that goal comes with 2:32 remaining in our first quarter. And it's now Texas A&M 4, Missouri 3. So a loose ground ball scooped up by number 20 for the Aggies, Braden Montgomery. As Montgomery will go on the attack on the near side. The ball in X with number 22, Matt Baer. Down to the shot clock moving under 60 as the game clock approaches 2 minutes to play in our first quarter. As the ball comes all the way back up top.
You'll see A&M take their time, and yet they'll get that ball into the center. Just on top of the cage, just outside the cage. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to transpire here.
So a steal by the Aggies. A shot and a goal for A&M as Matt Baer with his second goal of the match for the Aggies. And we'll check the replay here. A beautiful shot by Baer on the breakaway one-on-one. Puts it right over the top of Gowert's big net and extends the Aggie lead to Texas A&M 5, Missouri 3, with 95 ticks remaining in the first.
Yeah, Baer's very confident tonight with his abilities, and his teams are not afraid to dish off to him at all.
Face-off win quickly by Missouri, and they go on the attack as Bryce Sullivan will set up shop. They go back into X with the last goal scorer for Missouri, number 40, Jack Salerno. Salerno comes all the way back up top with number 11, Luke Griffith. As you see the shot clock down to 56 on your screen. And Missouri being very deliberate here, as there's only a 12-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, Tom, as they look to try to rag out the first quarter with the final goal, but instead A&M has different ideas, and they force a turnover. Now A&M on the attack quickly with 47 seconds to play in the opening quarter. A quick shot, Baer tries to shoot on goal. Pushed down from behind, and the penalty flag comes in very late. The clock stops with 38 seconds remaining, and this looks to be a man-up advantage coming for the Aggies. The clock stopped with 44 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
I thought that they may have had a man in the crease, but I'm obviously mistaken. But once again, Aggies aggressive and getting the ball down quick and getting a shot on cage.
And correction, 42 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. As number 4, James Wong, will sit in the penalty box for 1 minute on the slash. Now, man-up advantage for A&M. They'll have all of the final 38 ticks remaining of this quarter. Man up. They go back into X, come back up top. Looking for a shot, number 33, Caden Bender. And he'll look for number 0, Bradley Mays in X, but the ball goes over Mays' cross. It's brought back into play by A&M. They have less than 30 seconds to play in this first quarter.
Yeah, Mays would like to have that one come back.
A shot and a goal for Texas A&M. Jumping up front with the goal, that's number 16, Ben Salazar, and he'll extend the Aggie lead.
Salazar was right where he needed to be, and good eyesight out there, checking the perimeter, got it inside, and then you get a goal.
A beautiful pass out of X on the assist. And Salazar able to execute on the man-up advantage and extend the Texas A&M Aggie lead. The last 10 seconds now counting down. And the horn sounds ending our first quarter of play. And folks, we've got the first 15 minutes in the books here this evening from Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex in Melissa, Texas, as we continue Game On Sports exclusive presentation of the 2024 Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse Championships. And your score as we head to second quarter action here in this Division I quarterfinal. It's Texas A&M Aggies 6, Missouri Tigers 3. And Tom, this is very reminiscent of what we saw in the first semifinal with Oklahoma and TCU, as Missouri jumped out to the quick lead, but then A&M able to settle things down and score 6 goals in the first frame to take a 3-goal lead into quarter number 2.
I like the way they've just moved the Aggies, how they've moved the rock around, and I think it's paid off for them. Just good eyesight on the part of the attackmen, getting it down and basically fooling the goalie.
And with 6 goals here, A&M now firmly in control of this match. I'm not sure if we'll see quite the scoring barrage by A&M that we saw by TCU in our opening match, as TCU wins convincingly over Oklahoma by a score of 19-5 and earns a spot in one of tomorrow's Division I semifinals, facing off against the Texas Longhorns. The other semifinal will be determined in these 2 quarterfinals that are taking place right now. And we'll see if we can check in and get you a score from the other field between Kansas and LSU, because the winner of that game and the winner of this game will make up the second Division I semifinal that will come to you live here on Game On Sports Network tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Central.
I think we'll expect some more up-tempo play on both these teams. A&M obviously has the advantage right now. We'll just see how long this fast-powered pushing it up the field carries them.
And the second half now underway here from Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex, and Missouri controls the opening faceoff. They'll have the opening possession here in quarter number 2.
Mizzou trying to make something happen, moving the rock around.
And number 3, Jeremiah Schumacher with a shot. He had the opening goal for Missouri, and that ball out of bounds. It will be brought back into play by number 40, Jack Salerno for Missouri, the other goal scorer on the afternoon. And a goal for the Missouri Tigers.
Big number 40.
As Salerno notches his second goal of the contest here this evening. So now 2 goals for Jack Salerno, and he'll cut the lead to 6-4. The Aggies still in front.
Salerno, of course, from Hinsdale Central High School in Hinsdale, Illinois. Made that one look easy. But you can tell he came to play today.
And 45 seconds gone here in the second quarter, as Missouri has cut the lead has cut A&M's lead to just 2 goals. And now we're set to get underway. The faceoff coming in the center circle. And a clean face-off win for Garrett Ye. As Ye, coming into tonight's contest, he was 79 out of 183 on face-offs this season. Almost a 43% win rate for Ye. And he adds another to his tally. A clean face-off win there, Tom, and Missouri in possession with 60 on the shot clock.
Yeah, just a phenomenal stat for this young man to have. They really rely on him over here in Missouri. A&M, of course, taking advantage of the turnover.
A&M looks to shoot, and a quick goal for A&M.
Just, wow. Quick play, quick shot.
Ryan Squire with his second goal of the match for the Aggies. And we'll check that here on the replay. And Squire, point-blank range, just able to get that past Gowert. And just like that, A&M back out in front by 3 goals. It's now Aggies 7, Tigers 4, with just over 13 and a half remaining before halftime.
A&M going to try it again, Brian. They've got the ball after the face-off. Little high shot over the cage, but A&M retaining possession.
And A&M will bring the ball back out of X. They have 68 on the shot clock as Coach Tony Scazzero's squad moving quickly here. This has been a very fast break pace the entire time. As A&M, if they ever see an opportunity to put a shot on goal, Tom, it looks like they're doing it.
Mizzou closer on the outbound. Rock in now. They'll try and clear it and make something happen down on their end.
So 7-4 the advantage for the Aggies. As we move under 12 and a half remaining, the Aggies now in possession, charging forward number 26, Gunnar Husted. And Husted, the long stick midi, will dump off to number 5, Connor Cooper. As Cooper already with a goal in this game, looks to add a second. He'll start the offense out there with Connor Legg. As Legg, the 5'9", 180-pound senior from Dallas Jesuit, has had a fabulous career here in an Aggie uniform for Texas A&M and Tony Scazzero.
Salazar trying to make something happen. He'll come back out top. They'll move it around. They've got 40 seconds left on the shot clock, so they've got plenty of time. Runs into a little traffic.
And the turnaround shot there by Connor Milne, just wide of goal, going out of bounds. But there in X to bring the ball back into play will be Ryan Squire for the Aggies, as they have just over 32 remaining on the shot clock. And 11:29 remaining in our first half here at the Z-Plex in Melissa. So I like this field just a little bit better, Tom, because it's lined out for football, so where everything is in lacrosse makes more sense than on the other field that was lined for soccer, or maybe that's just me.
Well, I think we've got a lot better vantage point to this game. We're actually up in some bleachers.
No, it's nice to be up in a little elevation here. We're up in the top row of the bleachers. We're able to see over the heads of the bench as opposed to looking around the bench. But that's all the fun of broadcasting lacrosse on the fly. You got to love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, I couldn't think of a better partner to have during this outfit, too.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. And the feeling is mutual. I'm glad you were able to make the trip up here from Georgetown and join me for some fabulous lacrosse this evening. As the turnover there, it looked like Matt Baer was trying to just charge through Salerno to get to the goal. And the referee waved off what appeared to be a penalty on the aggression by Baer.
Kind of a rush shot. We'll see what happens.
A loose ball coming to the near sideline. Can they keep it in bounds? They do. Nifty stick work there by number 11, Luke Griffith of the Tigers. And now penalty flags fly. Play will stop with 10:19 remaining in the half. And we'll get another penalty call from the official. A technical foul being assessed against number 2, Drew Benson. And this will be the first man-up advantage of the game for Missouri. They'll get a fresh 80-second shot clock. And they'll start over here on the near side goal line extended with Luke Auble in possession. 10:19 remaining in the half as Missouri now goes on the job.
I like the way Mizzou moves the ball around. They're trying to make something happen.
And that ball off the helmet of the diving Anthony Arnold. Arnold was trying to keep Salerno from cutting in close to the crease and almost fell down, and that shot bounced right off his helmet. You could hear the plunk off the plastic all the way over here in the stands with headphones on.
Absolutely amazing.
And a fantastic shot of that little plunk there from our ace cameraman, Chris Reniger. Not very often that you see one ricochet like that off a helmet, but thank goodness that's why they have those nice plastic helmets on out there. Luke Auble now trying to work inside. He'll come back out, go up top with number 17, Brendan Brewster. Brewster working up top with number 11, Luke Griffith. Shot clock down to 30. Schumacher now trying to advance down the far side. He'll shoot from distance, wide of goal. And Auble there to bring the ball back into play for Missouri. Down to 26 on the shot clock as the clock approaches 9 minutes remaining before halftime.
Mizzou's not scared to shoot on goal, be it outside or inside.
Well,
that's that needle.
I was going to say, Tom, that's been the hallmark of both teams in this match. Neither one of them are afraid to shoot the ball. I think we've seen more shots on goal in this first half than we saw in the entire other semifinal between TCU and Oklahoma, even though they scored 24 goals between them.
I believe you're right.
These teams are taking any and every opportunity to throw that ball at the net. And Missouri back in as the penalty expires. Both teams now back at full strength. And a loose ball, the ground ball won by A&M. Charging forward on the attack, number 24, Cash Bowling.
Look at the
Bowling,
speed
the
of
long
Bowling.
stick midi. Back into Milne in the middle. Save, what a great save there by Zach Gowart. Milne from 12 yards out with mustard on that shot, and somehow Gowart got the big net out in front of it.
Gowart's always been fun to watch as a goalie. He covers his territory well and blocks that cage.
And Schumacher from point blank range has his cross interrupted by number 33, Caden Bender. A nice move by Bender to deflect the cross on the shot by Schumacher and have the ball go wide. Auble will bring the ball back in play. He'll hit Sullivan, goal line extended on the far side. A fresh shot clock for Mizzou. It's down to 65 as the game clock approaches the midway point of this second quarter. They'll go back up top to Auble, and Luke Auble sinks one in the back of the net past the goalkeeper as Missouri will notch their 5th goal of the game.
Well, that was just standard fundamental lacrosse, moving that ball, getting it in, and getting the opportunity to take a quick shot.
Auble sinking that ball past the goaltender. And, folks, your score here in the second quarter, it's now Texas A&M 7, Missouri 5 with 7:36 to play before halftime.
You know, Auble's just one of those players that just comes out of nowhere. He's from out of St. Louis.
And another quick face-off win for Mizzou, as lately Garrett Ye has just been owning that face-off circle. He's won the last 4 in a row. And Missouri now, Tom, with a chance to cut this down to a single goal deficit, 60 on the shot clock, as Ben Hensel will wait for the offense to form for Missouri. Substitutions for both teams continue. Down to 50 on the shot clock as Bryce Sullivan will work on the far side.
Yeah, they're making this an exciting game, Brian, and I won't be surprised if Mizzou can get on the board again, but turnover will dash it like we've just seen.
Yeah, number 19 there, and then back-to-back ground ball steals. And the foul against Mizzou will give Texas A&M possession. And a fresh shot clock on the foul call. Number 19 will move the ball forward as Connor Milne on the attack. He'll try to put a spin move into double coverage, thinks better of it. Moves goal line extended and throws the ball back up top to Bradley Mays. Mays with the ball to Jared Cordova. Now Cordova will quarterback the offense with 62 on the shot clock. The Two-man game as Mays working with Ryan, Squire, and X. Cordova up top. And over on the far side, keep an eye on number 10, Connor Legg, as he's dangerous goal line extended on the far side.
Watch him try and work that ball in, and if he can, he'll wedge his way in.
Legg and Cordova play the two-man game up top. Half the shot clock gone. It moves under 40 as our game clock approaches 6 minutes remaining in the half. Legg will take the ball all the way into X. He's marked there by number 4, James Wong. Legg trying to make a move on Wong. Spin move. Finds Squire. Goal line extended near side. Squire with an oblique angle shot. And now a penalty flag comes in as a little bit too much aggression by Missouri will give Texas A&M a man-up advantage with 5:43 remaining in the half.
Yeah, I don't think there's any love lost between these two squads, and it's becoming evident even before halftime. It's just their desire to win.
And number 9, Max Mock, will head to the sin bin. And we'll see the penalty here as Squire gets rid of the ball, and Mock just bowls him over, puts the right shoulder right into the breastplate of Squire. About 3 steps after the ball had left, and I don't think anybody missed that one, Tom. That was a pretty obvious penalty there by Mock, but you never know. It might be an opportunity there for Mock to set the tone, and later in the game, it may be worth 60 seconds in the sin bin.
Well, he's the leader in this of their ball club, and they rely on him a lot. And his wisdom that he brings to the game is pretty fascinating.
And the Aggies now man up for the next 60 seconds. They get a fresh 80 on the shot clock. 5:40 remaining in the half. As Jared Cordova starts things with Connor Milne up top. Also working with Connor Legg. I think they have 7 Connors on this team, the Aggies do. I know of at least 3. They come back in a clockwise rotation, now shift counterclockwise as Squire. They're moving the ball clockwise but rotating counterclockwise. And they missed the pass. They had Cordova set up goal line extended on the far side, but Cordova just couldn't bring in the pass from Connor Cooper, and now it's a turnover as Missouri will attack shorthanded.
Yeah, I think he was thinking what he was going to do once he got the rock before he actually had control of it.
And I forgot to catch it first. That ground ball won by number 8, Ben Hensel. As Hensel will now move things forward, he finds number 15, Chase McQuarrie, open on the near side goal line extended. The long stick midi will dump off to Luke Auble, and then he'll get off the field. And now we have an official stoppage of the clock at 4:36. As down on the field in pain is number 8, Ben Hensel of the Tigers. I think they had Missouri for too many men on the offensive side of midfield. And then Hensel down on the field in pain. He picks himself up and works his way back to the bench as the officials will discuss this call.
Stencil, another Missouri boy. He's from Kansas City, from Staley High School. Talking to him earlier in the game, he gives his coaches a lot of credit for his success.
The ball put back in play now. Ben Salazar will start the offense for A&M with 4.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Salazar gets the ball back, tosses it to Connor Milne. And the Aggies here with a 2-goal lead, Tom, it looks like they're slowing things down just a bit. I think they might be looking for just the right shot and backing off just a touch from just the barrage of shots on goal that they have done so far in the game. I mean, the first 25 minutes of this game, it was just shot after shot after shot. And now it looks like Coach Scazzero's squad is going to calm things down just a shade and try to set up an offensive play.
Yeah, and they're doing it all with less than 4 minutes in the half as well.
Connor Legg with the turnaround shot, saved by the goalkeeper, Gowart. As Zach Gowart brings in that shot on the short side. And now Missouri will attack as the clock moves under 4 minutes to play in the half. Streaking down the sideline, number 20, make that 32, Christian Simmons. Simmons dumping off to James Wong. And Missouri will get their offense on the field with 60 on the shot clock. Penalty flag comes sailing in from the far side against A&M as Mizzou will play the advantage. Bennett Brenny taking the ball into X. He's marked by number 6, Brett Mays. Benny tries the turnaround, scooped up by the Aggies. And now we'll get the penalty call against Texas A&M.
He wasn't offside. Can you get together and tell him? We had a player standing right here.
And Ivan Isaac will have the call for us, as Coach Tony Scazzero vehemently protesting this offside call. A 30-second technical penalty, and Coach Scazzero is livid, Tom.
Yeah.
Absolutely livid. In the meantime, it's a 30-second man-up advantage for the Tigers. We'll see if they can take advantage, and they do immediately, as number 40, Jack Salerno, leaves no doubt burying that ball in the back of the net. It's now just a one-goal game.
They took advantage of A&M kind of being disoriented there.
And this is probably going to make Coach Tony Scazzero of the Aggies even more upset, as now not only does he believe that the penalty was unfairly called against him, they converted on the power play opportunity, and now the Aggies only lead by a single goal, 7-6, with just over 3 minutes remaining in the half. So the hat trick now for Salerno. He's got 3. And a whistle on the faceoff. A rare opportunity there as Garrett Ye is called for a foul on the faceoff. The Aggies will attack quickly. It looks like now that Coach Scazzero will turn the heat back up, as Matt Baer will wait in X for the offense to form. And we have less than 3 minutes to play before halftime. Bradley Mays on the near side. He'll go all the way up top to Ben Salazar. 60 on the shot clock for A&M.
Yeah, A&M's got to shake off that last goal, Brian, and get back to what brung them. And they're trying to be methodical, trying to find the open man.
Connor Cooper with the loop and scoop, and he will score. And I was just about to mention, Tom, that the Aggies were able to respond quickly the last time Missouri scored, and they did it here again, as we'll take a look at the replay on this beautiful goal by Connor Cooper. The bounce shot right past Gowart. Great goal by Cooper. And it's back to a 2-goal lead. Texas A&M 8, Missouri 6, as we have 2:28 to play in the half.
Yeah, they really rely on Cooper to get open. That's one of the things that he's known for, is getting open and getting that rock into the cage.
The loose ground ball scooped up by A&M, and they go back on the attack once again. Consecutive face-off wins for the Aggies. And A&M will set up shop. They've got 68 on the shot clock. Working in X. They have 2 men in X right now coming out with possession. Quick shot, save Gowart. Baer tried to just sneak one in there on Gowart. Gowart equal to the task, and quickly outlets to Luke Abel. Now Missouri on the fast break, although Abel now triple covered.
Yeah, there's too many Aggies down there for them to get much done.
It looked good at first, but the Aggie defense able to close quickly. And Caden Bender, number 33, will bring the ball across the timeline for Texas A&M. 100 seconds remaining in the first half. Oh, pardon me, a little clock correction, just a little bit over 3 minutes, about 3:10 remaining in the half. As our clock has been a little bit quick, and now the Aggies will take timeout. And we'll check the exact time here as we have timeout on the field. I'm not sure. I saw penalty flags fly as well. So if those penalty flags came out after the timeout was called, then do they count or not, Tom?
It's a good question. Let's see what they end up unraveling from all this.
Well, we'll check the time here. Should be just over 3 minutes remaining in the half, as A&M has called timeout, and they have a 2-goal lead.
You know, we were talking earlier about some of these high schools that put out some good athletes. The Woodlands High School out of Spring, or the Woodlands, Texas, has got a phenomenal program. My son played down in the Klein School district, which is borders that Woodlands High School, and they've got a good program, like I mentioned, but what they've really got is they've got a good coach that cares about his kids.
And then we're going to, and hopefully we'll be together again here in 2 weeks, Tom, for the Texas High School Lacrosse League Championships, which will be held in the Houston area, just north of Houston in Magnolia, coming up in 2 weeks, and we'll get to see some of those great programs.
I look forward to that very much so. Magnolia's an up-and-coming community that's growing fast, and it's a good place to hold those championships.
Well, folks, we're going to reset coming out of the timeout. 3:06 remaining before halftime here in this Division I quarterfinal between Texas A&M and Missouri. Texas A&M will be in possession. They'll have 52 on the shot clock as Ryan Squire will bring the ball back into play. Goal line extended on the near side. And A&M here with a chance to get the advantage back up to 3 before halftime, which would be critical going into the halftime break, Tom.
Yeah, they've got time to make it happen too, Brian. It's just a matter of having good eyesight on to who's open and getting that ball, down to the crease area.
So the shot clock at 45 now as Bradley Mays will bring the ball all the way up top, survey his options. Go charging down the far side. Looking for a shot and a goal by Bradley Mays. A one-man show there as Squire off the inbound to Mays. And Mays did all the rest of the work himself. It's a 3-goal lead for A&M as we look at the replay.
Well, you have a view into the future, my friend. That was a good call.
Bradley Mays from 20 yards out zips that into the goal, and it's now Texas A&M 9, Missouri 6, with just under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Great goal there by Brad Mays.
Brad Mays, of course, comes out of Austin Westlake there.
Another fabulous THSL program.
We
And hopefully we may actually see some of those in the Super Regionals this coming weekend.
I'll be surprised if we don't.
So we should have some Super Regional action for you as well this coming weekend, May 3rd and 4th, in the Texas High School Lacrosse League, as well as the Texas High School Lacrosse League Championships Mother's Day weekend, live and exclusive right here on Game On Sports. So we move under 2.5 remaining in the second quarter as the ball up top with number 34, Johnny Adel. And Adel marked by number 20, Braden Montgomery. Montgomery has the shot clock down to 45 as Adel looking for room. He'll go goal line extended near side.
Almost threw that one away.
As Salerno now with the hat trick in the game has possession for Missouri. He is pushed way over across the field by number 55, Austin Baldwin. A low shot by Abel. Fantastic shot and just deflected wide by the goalkeeper.
Good block there.
The kick save by the Aggie goalkeeper keeps it a 3-goal advantage. 20 on the shot clock for Missouri. As we now have 100 seconds approximately remaining in the half. Luke Griffith goes back. Ground ball opportunity. Loose ground ball scooped up by Ben Salazar. Salazar on the attack for the Aggies. Or no, make that 15. Jake Johnston. Johnston shoots and scores. I thought that was 16 at first, but that was number 15, Jake Johnston, with the steal. And as they say in basketball, coast to coast for the goal for A&M. Let's look at the replay.
Pascal was right where he needed to be.
No, Johnston with the pass. That was a pass up front. We'll have to take a look at the replay once again to see who had that goal. But Johnston had passed that off at the last millisecond. And a point-blank goal for A&M makes it 10-6 with about a minute 20 to play here in the first half.
And that's exactly what A&M needed to do here going into the halftime, is extend that lead and not have it a close lead. It'll give them more confidence coming out in the second half.
And Missouri winning another faceoff as Garrett Ye continues his dominance in the faceoff circle. Jeremiah Schumacher will have the ball up top with 68 on the shot clock and just over 70 seconds remaining in the half. That's number 7, Luke Aubel, working in X. He'll go around on the backside with Bryce Sullivan. Sullivan comes all the way up top with Brendan Brewster on the counterclockwise rotation. As we have less than a minute to play here in the first half of this Division I quarterfinal. Jack Salerno marked by the big body of number 55, Austin Baldwin, the 6'6", 205 product out of South Lake Carroll. And Tom, I've seen that was one of the major adjustments they've made as they put a body on Jack Salerno just as big as Salerno himself.
Yeah, and look at the result.
And now charging forward the Aggies with an opportunity. Less than 30 seconds to play. Cash Bowling moving it forward, looking for Milne, and Connor Milne scores. They made Missouri pay for that mistake as Connor Milne puts the ball in the back of the net and extends the Texas A&M lead as we see on the replay. Milne charging in, and the left-handed shot from 6 yards out over the right shoulder of Gowert.
Gowert saw that coming too, Brian, and I'm kind of confused why he wasn't able to block it, but he was there and waiting for it, and it still got through.
So now about 25 seconds remaining in the half as we have the face-off in the center circle. And an illegal face-off. This will be awarded to Missouri. Shot clock no longer a factor as we have about 23 seconds to play in the half. 20 seconds just announced by the scorekeeper. As charging forward, that's Sullivan on the far side on the attack for Mizzou. Sullivan tries the spin move. Ball comes loose, picked up by Salerno. Oh, no, not Salerno. That's Johnny Adele. And now on the far sideline, the Aggies lose the ball out of bounds as the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime. We'll see if there might be time on the clock. And the officials will reset the clock with 2 seconds. 2 seconds remaining in the half. They inbound the ball. The shot no good. And now, folks, the horn is sounded, bringing us to halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the first half of play here at the Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex in Melissa, Texas. And, folks, your halftime score here in this Lone Star Alliance Division I quarterfinal. Texas A&M 11, Missouri 6. And as we're joined here by my color announcer, Tom McGee. Tom, the second quarter almost a mirror image of the first, where Mizzou tried to establish something early in the first quarter, but then Coach Tony Scazzaro and his A&M coaching staff making adjustments throughout the half. One of the adjustments I pointed out earlier, putting a 6'6", 205-pound defenseman on Jack Salerno, who had 3 goals in the game. Salerno himself, 6'3" and 240.
11-6.
So 2 big guys there. And once they got Baldwin on Salerno, he was practically neutralized, and that allowed the Aggies to have a 4-goal barrage in the last 3.5 minutes of this quarter, and they take an 11-6 lead to the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, we talked about that, and we talked earlier about the up-tempo. I think with the aggression that they've shown and their ease to move the ball around the cage and eventually finding somebody open has definitely paid off. And their goalie, Missouri's goalie, I love him to death, but he's kind of let a few get by that I think technically he should have gotten, but you never know in this game. And I know he's going to be rethinking this one for during the halftime to make some adjustments.
So the Aggies in front by 5 here at the halftime break. And, folks, while we have a moment, Game On Sports would like to thank some of the folks who made tonight's broadcast of the Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse Championships possible. Game On would like to thank one of our sponsors for this weekend's games, Next Gen Audio Video. Next Gen Audio Video has been serving North Dallas since 2010 with services that include home theater design and installation. And you'll have peace of mind knowing that all of your audiovisual needs are in the hands of people who care. For more information, visit their website at nextgenaudiovideo.com. We'd also like to thank one of our sponsors this evening, Big Bad Carts. Game On Sports Network would like to thank our sponsor for the weekend, Big Bad Carts. They do custom golf carts with only the best parts the industry has to offer. From mild to wild, they can do it all from their offices in Salina, Texas. And you can check them out on their website at bigbadcarts.com. Also, folks, don't forget that Game On Sports is more than just the home of Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse. Game On will also have, as we just mentioned, the Texas High School Lacrosse League Championship Tournament in 2 weeks. You can see our full schedule for the Texas High School Lacrosse League Championships on our website at GameOnSportsNetwork.com. Also, stay up to date on all of our social media platforms. Simply search at Game On Sports Network. Well, folks, we're going to step aside here for the halftime break, and join you just before we begin the third quarter of play with highlights and action from this very exciting first half of play here at the Ford Sports Village in Melissa. So we'll step aside. Texas A&M 11, Missouri 6, and we'll be back with the third quarter. Folks, you're watching the Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse Championships here on Game On Sports Network.
Stop, change directions. I think that has thrown off these KU defenders. They don't know how to stay with a guy that fast, and he is just turning it on these guys, making it hard for them to stay in his hip pocket. He's so fast, but man, he has been painting these corners this entire first half. Let's see what Wally Sofield has in store here for the second half.
And you would think, regrouping at halftime, Kansas would say, all right, who's their guy? But looks like they're still leaving him pretty open in the middle. But again, he does a good job of recognizing when to step in, making himself look guarded, but then sneaking back door.
Yeah.
Those are heads-up lacrosse IQ plays that great attackers do a good job of.
Yeah, Romito with the last shot attempt by LSU, trying to work their way back top side, finding Wally Sofield again inside, doing a better job of keeping someone in front of him. Last time they were not on him the way that they were, so maybe that's the halftime adjustment that you're talking about.
And if you're Kansas and you're their coach, you're telling them anybody but him. If we had to send a double team on him and he passes to someone and they score, I'm okay with that. But the same person scoring that many goals a game, you have to shut him down. Make other people have to step up for this offense.
Trying to work it back inside as this is a long possession here from LSU to open up the second half. 12:59 here in the third quarter. Back top side, and if you want to say anybody but him, there it is. Number 12, Matthew Olivio with the score.
This is a great hesitation, face dodge, dodging hard to his strong right hand. Now it's one of those plays where no one's behind to back this ball up if he misses. It's one of those plays as a coach, if it goes in, you're happy. If it doesn't, it's a turnover going the other way. But nonetheless, it's a great shot by number 12 in purple.
Here we are back down at the face-off and procedure penalty, but still going the other way for LSU.
You can just see the momentum shift here. LSU's fired up on the sideline, and Kansas just really slow to the ball. The sideline's not amped up, and it's transpiring on the field today.
Yeah, the energy is all over it for LSU, man. You see just the communication, the yelling. These guys are yelling at each other, keeping the energy up high. They have not let down at all, and doesn't sound like they planned on it. Boy, great interception, stepping in between that pass by
Again,
Krelitz.
Fast in transition. This is what they want. This is the look they want. A shot from outside. Now, that's a great defensive play. They sent the slide early, forced him to make an air pass, and take the ball down on the O end for them.
Yes, and another shot attempt coming quick for KU. Down by 6, plenty of time. No lead is safe in lacrosse, so KU has plenty of time, but you see them now trying to be more deliberate on offense. Cooper Goss, who had one of the scores for KU in the first half. Alamo is the call for LSU. Don't know what that means, but hey, everybody screamed it out. I just wanted to echo the same. That Alamo is the call.
They're looking for an ISO down low here. It's a shorty on a shorty. Hopefully they set a slide soon, which they did. And the ability to move the ball quicker. Once that slide came, if you move the ball fast on the backside, you'll find someone open. Slower you wait, the easier the defense can get back in.
It's even better defense on this side for LSU. The slide comes, double team, and obviously forcing the turnover.
No numbers. Yellow.
Wally Sofield on the far side.
Midline.
Great lacrosse IQ play there, realizing, hey, I have momentum, but we don't have numbers on offense. Sometimes it's so hard when you have the ball and you're sprinting down the field, but if it's a 1 versus 5, I'd probably pull it out.
No one looking to play hero ball, basically.
No.
That's what you thought was going to happen. Again, supporting great IQ in lacrosse. Morgan Alexander's going to point that out every time. Do something dumb, she'll point it out as well. So it's a catch-22. Another offensive possession here in the second half.
Simple pass, pick down. Low to low, though. He's going to say that all day long. You have to change your levels when you shoot the ball, especially in a talented goalie such as Kansas.
Substitutions being made. How about that defensively? Trying to force the turnover. KU does get it back and the clear. Whew. Great check. Great defense on the far side. Nothing coming easy for KU. It's just like, man, we are having to do everything in our power just to get the clear. Finally, they work it.
And folks, we welcome you back here to Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex in Melissa, Texas. Brian Shackelford alongside Tom McGee as we begin the second half of play in this Lone Star Alliance Division I quarterfinal between the Texas A&M Aggies and the Missouri Tigers. The Aggies with an 11-6 lead here as we open the third quarter, Tom, and that's on the strength of a 4-goal barrage in the final 3 minutes of the half as Missouri let their defensive side down and A&M kept pressing the attack, and that's why they have an 11-6 lead as we start the third quarter.
Yeah, I talked to the Missouri coach at halftime to ask him what changes he was going to make or what needs to happen in the second half. And it's kind of a standard answer. We need to get these ground balls and eliminate turnovers.
Right, and it looked like a big turning point in that second quarter was when the officials called an offside penalty against A&M that Coach Scazzero vehemently protested. I mean, he was absolutely livid. And after that, he just had his guys turn on the Jets because after that offside penalty was called, A&M went on a 5-0 or 5-1 barrage, and that's why they own an 11-6 lead here as we open the third quarter.
Yeah, and, you know, Coach Scazzero isn't wrong too often. The man has been coaching these Aggies for, what, 45 years, 44 years?
This is his 43rd season.
Okay. The man knows the game like the back of his hand, and I got to kind of side with him, even though we should always go with what the referees say.
Right.
But from our vantage point, it didn't look like that they were offsides.
Well, if they were, it was just by the smallest of margins.
Yes, sir.
As it's down to 24 on the shot clock for Missouri as Jack Salerno tries to wrap around the goal for a shot. The turnaround no good. The shot way wide. And Missouri somehow will maintain possession with 16 on the shot clock. The opening possession here of the third quarter for the Tigers as they look to bite into this 5-goal lead. Sullivan trying to wrap around, and he'll make the shot that Salerno couldn't. A goal for Bryce Sullivan, and he'll cut the lead down to 11-7.
Sullivan put that meticulously up in the right-hand corner of the cage, knew exactly where he wanted the puck to go, and he made it happen.
And with that score, it's now Texas A&M 11, Missouri 7 as we have almost 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter. And this game by no means out of reach for the Tigers with 28 minutes of lacrosse remaining here in this quarterfinal. And this could be the start of a charge here by the Missouri Tigers. We'll see as Garrett Ye has had almost complete mastery of the faceoff circle here this evening. As a matter of fact, he's awarded the faceoff on a foul against A&M. So he'll come off quickly.
Yeah, I didn't see that happen. But this is Missouri's time to make hay with this and see if they can't work this puck in and make it a tighter ball game.
No, they had it down to a single goal advantage at 7-6. And then it was that 4-goal barrage by A&M in the final 3.5 minutes of the second quarter that extended the lead to 11-7. Or actually, yeah, a 4-1 advantage. And Abel now, Luke Abel with a shot. He faked it the first time, and the second time he let it rip. And now Missouri has cut the lead to 3.
I thought I saw that hit the cage, and it must have come right back to him for the put-in.
I thought that's what I heard, too. Hopefully the replay can wind back far enough to where we can look at that, because I thought I heard that very familiar ping of ball on metal. But if that came right back to him and he shot again, that's absolutely amazing.
It actually moved the cage back a little bit.
I think that it did. We'll see. We'll check here as we look at the replay.
It's the cage.
It hit the cage and came right back to him. What are the odds on that?
My word.
And there's the smartest creature in this entire complex, as that dog is just sitting there enjoying the action.
Never hear him complain, do you?
Not a word, as Garrett Ye wins another faceoff. So keep that one in the highlight reel. We may have to send that into Sports Center. I think that might be a candidate for number 11 in tonight's top 10.
I think you're right.
But my goodness,
see what we can do.
Takes a wicked shot, knocks the net back about 2 feet, pings it off the iron right back to him, and then he puts it in the net. I mean, if that's not worthy of da-da-da, I'm not sure what is. I mean, Trevor, if I were you in the truck, I'd wrap that up and send it to him. The worst thing they can do is say no thank you. So as we continue here, 11-8 now the score, as Missouri has scored 2 consecutive goals here in the third period. So the Tigers on the march here with 11:22 to play in the third, as they look to cut this back down to a 2-goal lead and really make things interesting here in this quarterfinal at the Z-Plex this evening.
You know, Brian, I've got a trivia question for you. Why are we playing with neon green balls instead of the normal white, do you think?
You know, I was curious about that. I always thought that the neon green balls were exclusively for women's lacrosse, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's because of the darkness. I didn't know that the men's game was allowed to use anything but the white balls.
I
Shot wide by number 5, Connor Cooper.
I walked by a bucket of them and thought they were tennis balls.
Yeah, they are that exact same color. And for those of you playing the home game, the exact same color as Trevor Von Dom's hair. That neon yellow.
Yeah, he could be mistaken for the Rock.
But, I mean, is there any kind of rule on the color of the ball like that? Or am I just mistaken there?
I don't think there is, because...
I mean, because all the fluorescent yellow balls are lining the sideline to be brought back into play.
Yep.
So they must be acceptable for play in the men's game. This is the first time I've seen it in the men's game.
We'll have to check on that.
Yeah, we'll have to check with our referees here after the game to find out if there's any particular rules or stipulations on the color ball that's used. But as we will wax rhapsodic on that, we'll return to action. Sullivan with another shot. That's deflected to the side by big number 55, Austin Baldwin, as Baldwin resumes his job of marking Jack Salerno. I mean, between those two gentlemen, you're talking, 12 feet 9 inches of height, 445 pounds of girth. So I think it reminds me of the quintessential paradox between the unstoppable force and the immovable object.
And you got to hand it to these Tigers. They've cut the lead back to 3. They are not playing with a great sense of urgency. They're playing methodical ball.
Well, there's no real reason to panic at this point. It's a 3-goal game, and we still have, 25 minutes of lacrosse to play this evening? So they can still pick and choose, I would think, at this point, right, Tom?
Yeah, and that was a good save by the A&M goalie.
And the cross knocked out of the hand on the attack. A&M shot, deflect by Goward. As Matt Baer was point blank right in front of Zach Goward, and Goward able to flash the big net out there and brush it off to the side. As it made contact with the goalkeeper, it's a fresh 80 for A&M as they bring the ball back into play. Goal line extended on the far side. They go back up top with number 10, Connor Legg. as leg will allow for substitutions. Cordova coming on the field, replacing Eli Williams. Also now checking in, it will be Connor Cooper, the 5'10", 175 Round Rock Westwood product. The senior coming in to help his fellow senior Connor Legg on offense.
Yeah, they need him back in the game too, because he's a playmaker.
Cooper looking for Jared Cordova on the far side. They find Matt Baer in X, as Baer now marked by number 45, TJ Soriano. Baer flattened, and here comes the penalty flag out of the pocket of Ivan and Isaac. 2 penalty flags on the play. And this is clearly, looks to me, I'm not the official, but that looks like a pretty clear cross-check to me.
Absolutely, and they'll send how many to the box?
And headed
it's just one.
Yeah, headed to the sin bin. It is number 45, TJ Soriano, the 6'2", 230-pound sophomore from St. Louis Priory School. And here we'll take a look at the replay here as Soriano just puts his cross squarely into the back of Matt Baer and right in front of the official. And while we have a chance, folks, we'll introduce our officiating crew here for you. Your referee here this evening, Mr. Ivan Isaac. Your umpire tonight, Jason Gustin. And the field judge this evening is Wilson Look. And they have kept order very well here in this game. The penalty flags have only come out when they've had to. And that's what you like to see here, is the officials involved but not too involved in the game to keep order. So a shot from distance by Milne, deflected by Gallert. That will reset the shot clock at 80, and we still have 38 seconds on the 1-minute penalty to TJ Soriano. Ben Salazar working up top with Connor Milne. They go goal line extended. Quick shot. And it's just wide of goal off the cross. I believe that was number 0, Bradley Mays, with that shot. The Aggies bring the ball back in. As Cooper up top, he sneaks inside. The ball knocked loose by the Tigers' Max Kramer.
That could have been another goal, Brian. He was right there to make that play.
Exactly. Kramer flashed that long stick and knocked the ball out of the cross of Connor Cooper. And now an unforced error by Kramer as the danger seeker throws the ball away. Now the Aggies back on the job with just over 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter as they look to extend this 3-goal advantage. They've led by as many as 5 in the game at 11-6. That pass looking for Milne, a little bit too high, chased to the near side. And the ball out of bounds. We'll see who they will award possession. As Wilson Look, the field judge, will confer with Ivan Isaac, as they both had the best vantage points on this near sideline. Clock stopped with approximately 7:54 remaining here in the third quarter. Aggies 11, Tigers 8.
If you notice too, Brian, the chatter between the sidelines and the field has increased for both of these teams right now. This is a highly strategic game, as we all know, and this is becoming a crucial point of the game, even though we've got plenty of laps left. This is becoming a fairly crucial. If Mizzou can make a dominant stand here in this third quarter, we're going to have a good ending to this ball game.
And now we're getting the explanation from the official as he's explaining to both benches. Jason Gustin, the umpire, explaining here to Coach Tony Scazzero exactly what happened, the shot on goal and the reset. And it appears they're waving off the foul, what appeared to be a foul by Missouri. So both teams at equal strength now. The penalty to Soriano has expired. But A&M will remain in possession. They have 55 on the shot clock as the clock moves under 8 minutes remaining in our third quarter.
It'd be interesting to see what they do here, these Aggies. I think they're just going to start back up top.
Jared
and
Cordova.
Find the open man.
Yep. Jared Cordova working on number 33, Tyler Pasco. And now taking over the mark on Cordova is number 30, Davis Dirks. Shot clock down to 25. Baer working out of X, and He takes a cross right under the chin, but just out of the view of the officials. Both of the officials down there didn't have a clearer look. But you're very much correct, Tom. I mean, the two teams aren't yelling at each other, but they are communicating with their players on the field. It's been very sportsmanlike. So nothing between the benches per se. It's just that they are using their advantage that they can with the lung power on the sideline to communicate the play or the effort or the signal call onto the field.
You're absolutely right, and it's, and they need that. They need that.
Bradley Mays with a shot, top shelf, he scores. Brad Mays put that on an absolute rope. That ball never moved in height, went right under the top bar. It's now 12 goals here in the game for the Aggies.
Another Westlake product coming to show you his wares, and that was a beautiful shot, like you said, Brian. It was a laser shot.
Yeah, I would love to see the jugs gun on that. That had to be at least 65, 70 miles an hour, maybe even faster, because that shot never changed in altitude. As Mays sinks that right under the crossbar, and it's now Aggies 12, Tigers 8, as we have just over 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. The Aggies now back to a 4-goal lead. As I had said earlier, they've led by as many as 6. And quickly, Garrett Ye zings one over the top of goal. And they have not yet found an answer for Garrett Ye in the faceoff circle this evening. The Aggies have not.
That's been interesting, but that shot from way out wide, I question, because they had 3 other men coming across the cage that were open that he could have thrown to. And that's why communications from the sidelines out into the field is sometimes, as you know, the players are, the coaches on the sidelines see the field better than the players that are on the field.
A steal by the Aggies, Braden Montgomery. And that ball out of bounds, deflected out of bounds by number 25, Mason Taylor of the Tigers. And that will allow Matt Bayer of the Aggies to bring the ball in out of X with 6:28 remaining and 70 on the shot clock for Texas A&M. They'll reset up top as Braden Montgomery. The long stick midi will pass off to number 16, Ben Salazar, another Austin Westlake product. They have several Austin Westlake chaparrals on this roster, do the Aggies. And as we were talking about quality Texas high school lacrosse league programs, certainly the Westlake chaparrals are in the top echelon of that discussion.
We had a turnover as a result of whatever the whistle was for.
Now
Mizzou's got the ball back.
Ball turns over, and now with possession, James Wong for the Tigers. Sullivan, low shot, he scores! Sullivan saw an opening just to the side of Brett Mays, goes 5-hole on the goalie, and cuts the lead back to 3. It's now Texas A&M 12, Missouri Tigers 9 as we check out the replay.
Just a nice ground shot that got by the A&M goalie.
And Sullivan now with the last 2 goals for Missouri, as they have cut it back down to a 3-goal lead, and this has the potential to set up a very interesting fourth quarter here in this quarterfinal at the Ford Sports Village. So now the face-off, a rare face-off mistake by Ye, and the Aggies will win this face-off as Cordova in control for Texas A&M. He'll try to shoot left-handed, just wide of goal. And back to bring the ball in play for the Aggies, Ryan Squire.
Yeah, luckily they get possession again and take another stab at it.
Squire comes in goal line extended on the far side. He'll challenge with a low shot off the post. A rebound on a backhanded shot by Milne. The posts have been doing amazing things here in these games tonight. I mean, I don't think that I have ever seen as many rebounds come off the post and straight back to players as I have here in the 2 games this evening, not to mention the goal earlier by Luke Aubel.
You're right, and I've not seen too many of these behind-the-back shots either that have been successful. They're pretty when they go in the net, but it's amazing. It's a good shot selection. I used to teach my little daughter when she was playing lacrosse to run by the cage, stop, and go back the other way, and then shoot behind and see if that would work, and by gum, it did.
We have timeout on the field taken by Texas A&M with just over 5 minutes remaining here in the first half, or in the third quarter, as A&M holds a 12-9 lead. And folks, while we have a moment, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors this evening. Game On Sports would like to thank our sponsor, Iron Horse Lacrosse. If watching tonight or this weekend's action has your kid excited about lacrosse, then check out Iron Horse Lacrosse Club. Their mission is to develop each club member to the utmost of their playing and personal potential in an environment that stresses the importance of discipline, courage, character, moral excellence, and fun. For more information, you can check out Iron Horse Lacrosse on their website at ironhorselax.com. As we return to action, 5:26 remaining in our third period here at the Z-Plex in Melissa. And the ball put back in play. Connor Legg will control for the Aggies on the far side.
And we'll watch Connor Cooper work his magic. Tries to penetrate, has to dish off.
The ball loose on the near side, scooped up by Eli Williams. Almost an unforced error there by the Aggies. Williams maintains control. The shot clock approaching 30. Connor Cooper gets loose. He'll go back into X. They go back up top as Williams will chase it down. Ground ball opportunity as Connor Cooper will try to scoop it up. Still loose, and now a whistle by the officials. And Missouri is granted possession. Missouri quickly on the attack.
This could be a good opportunity for them to get back that goal.
They come to the near side with number 15, Chase McQuarrie, as McQuarrie will dump off to Bryce Sullivan, the Tiger who has scored the last 2 goals in this game.
Watch how they patiently try and work the ball back in.
We approach 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter as the Tigers have another opportunity to cut this down to a 2-goal game. Aggies 12, Tigers 9, charging in, a low shot deflected. Goes back up top to number 17, Brendan Brewster. The shot over top of goal. And out of bounds, the ball will be brought back in play from X. Or no. They're now awarding possession to A&M as Austin Baldwin will bring the ball in. The Aggies have the ball and less than 4 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. Number 9, Blake Scheinberg with possession for A&M. As they will set up the offense with 60 on the shot clock. They find Matt Baer in X as he's marked by number 15, Chase McQuarrie. McQuarrie, a 6'5", 225-pound defenseman out of Washington Community High School in Washington, Illinois.
That's a big old boy.
A tall young man. Baer trying to get inside. He's rejected. And the ball stolen by number 45, TJ Soriano. Soriano with the steal. And now the ball taken right back by the Aggies, Hunter Rogers. Rogers decleated by Soriano. Penalty flags fly, and that might be a goal. And it is. They allow the Aggies to play the advantage, and it's a goal for Ryan Squire in A&M.
Ryan Squire was right where he needed to be, and that was a very wisely taken shot, and it benefited A&M to extend their lead.
Oh, no, Squire dished off to Baer. That was Baer with the goal. It was, pardon me, that was 22, not 12. So Matt Baer with his 3rd goal of the game. That's a hat trick for Matt Baer. And the Aggies extend their lead back to 4 goals. It's Texas A&M 13, Missouri 9.
And you know, by getting that hat trick, it just shows how much they rely on him to get open and take a shot on goal. He's playing very well tonight.
Matt Baer with the first hat trick of the evening for Texas A&M. Salerno with a hat trick for the Tigers. Now the officials will meet following that goal. Walk me through how this works, Tom. I mean, they called the penalty, the goal was scored. Do they still assess the penalty, or is it waved off since the goal was scored on the advantage?
Well, they're fixing to come over here and tell us all about it. The goal is good. And the penalty is assessed. on Mizzou.
Yeah, Soriano will pick up his second major penalty. This is a 2-minute penalty. So TJ Soriano returns to the sin bin for the Tigers. This time he'll sit for 2 full minutes. And as we have just under 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, the bulk of the time remaining here in quarter number 3 will be a man-up advantage for Texas A&M.
Two-minute penalties will kill you, especially with the score being the way it is. They need that extra man out there.
Okay, so Missouri will start with the ball. They'll have the ball shorthanded. So even though the penalty is against TJ Soriano, it looks like also a penalty being assessed against Hunter Rogers. So it looks like we might have an equal strength matchup here. Whereas his is a technical foul, so he doesn't have to sit. And so Coach Bo Rich sorting things out. They will be man down, but they will have possession of the ball. So that's a rare call there, I would think, Tom, to award the ball to the team playing shorthanded. With just, walk me through how that call is made.
Well,
it's the ball thrown away out of bounds by Brendan Brewster, and now it's a moot point as the Aggies will take possession.
Yeah.
But I guess does that depend on which penalty was committed first or last?
I think so.
So now the Aggies will attack man up as they will have an advantage here for about 1:45 seconds. Matt Baer working goal line extended on the near side. He already has a hat trick in the game. And Connor Cooper out there with him. The clock moves under 100 seconds to play in the third. And it's Aggies 13, Missouri Tigers 9. Goal line extended on the far side. That's Squire. Ryan Squire will bring the ball back up top. Connor Legg working up top with Connor Milne. Squire on the right side with Brad Mays. As Mays now switches up top. Connor Cooper loses the ball momentarily. Shot clock under 40. Matt Baer, goal line extended now. They go up to Squire. That pass deflected. And the Aggies will be awarded possession. Ball brought back into play by Texas A&M. Squire up top. Less than a minute now remaining in the penalty to Soriano. 15 on the shot clock. Connor Cooper. He finds the top shelf on the far side for a goal.
He was ready for it. We saw it coming.
He had that spot picked out, and no one got out there in front of him. It's a hat trick for Connor Cooper, and the Aggies extend their lead.
Extend their lead by 5.
And the folks here on the bench described that perfectly. A lethal goal there by Connor Cooper, as that was a 75-mile-an-hour laser beam top shelf to the far side. And Gowart had no chance to track that down. It's now Aggies 14, Missouri Tigers 9 with less than a minute to play in the third. So we're right back where we were as we began this third quarter. It was a 5-goal advantage for A&M at 11-6. And each team has scored 3 goals in this third quarter, as it's now 14-9 in favor of the Aggies.
That was an ill-advised pass on the count of the goal. He had 2 other guys out on the wings that were open.
A low shot, and Connor Legg makes the Tigers pay as he scores a goal for the Aggies.
I don't know, Brian, but these Aggies are starting to walk away a little bit with it.
And we'll watch the replay there as Legg goes sidearm low. You can't give Connor Legg a wide open look like that, Tom. He's going to bury it in the back of the net every time. And this is now matched the largest lead of the day for Texas A&M at 15-9, a 6-goal advantage.
And Legg has how many goals so far?
That's the first goal that I have him for officially, but I have 2 goals that I need to account for.
I got you.
So back into action here with less than 30 seconds to play in the half. As Garrett Ye with the faceoff. They're telling him to hold on to the ball. as Missouri had this down to a 3-goal advantage. They were looking to cut the lead to 2, and this spark in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter by Texas A&M has the lead back out to 6, matching the largest lead of the game for Texas A&M. The spin move and the shot just wide by Luke Auble. And a timeout taken by Missouri with just seconds remaining here in the first half. Tom, it looks like they want to set up a final play here with just a few seconds remaining in the third quarter. They feel that getting this back down to a 5-goal advantage is critical before we end the third quarter of play.
Yeah. I don't know if a timeout was as necessary.
So the timeout taken with 36 seconds remaining in the half. And both teams have used a timeout in the second half. They each have 1 timeout remaining. 2 timeouts per half in college lacrosse.
We apologize for the discrepancy in the time left in the quarter. Sometimes we get mixed signals by the referees.
So 36 ticks remaining before we end the third quarter. And that makes a little bit more sense now that they have 30 seconds to put a play together, 47 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that explains the timeout versus 8 seconds or whatever we were seeing.
Yeah, the shot clock not a factor now, as there is significantly more time remaining on the shot clock than in the third quarter. So Missouri can use the entire remainder of this 36 seconds to plan and execute a shot and hopefully get this back to a 5-goal advantage right where it was at halftime. So you have a stalemate in the third quarter, but then you go into the final 15 minutes down by 5.
Yes, sir.
So the ball back in play goes all the way back up top to Brendan Brewster. 30 seconds to play in the half. Ben Hensel now back in the game following his injury earlier. They look on the near side. The ball dropped, picked up by Sullivan. He loses it again. And a ground ball unforced error will give the Aggies a chance. 17 seconds as Braden Montgomery moves forward. Connor Legg now goal line extended far side. 10 seconds. Legg's going to try to wrap around. Final seconds, shoots wide. And the ball goes out of bounds as the horn sounds, ending our third quarter of play. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 3 quarters in the books here this evening from the Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex in Melissa, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you live exclusive coverage of the 2024 Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse Championships. And folks, your score as we head to the final 15 minutes here at the Z-Plex in Melissa. It's Texas A&M Aggies 15, Missouri Tigers 9. So the Aggies add an extra goal to their lead in the third quarter, Tom. They take a 6-goal advantage into the final 15 minutes. If you're Bo Rich and the Tiger Brain Trust, what do you need to do here in the opening minutes of quarter number 4 to get this back down to a manageable deficit? Because you've got to think you've got to cut it to at least a 4-goal lead in the next 2 or 3 minutes to have a chance.
Well, I think they got to go with what brung them here. They're obviously a very aggressive team. They're up tempo. They're winning their share of ground balls. They're getting their share of turnovers. And they just need to go down when they've got the puck. They need to get down there and make it happen. And, we just moments ago, we were looking at a 3-point lead. Now it's broadened out to 6. Missouri's got to make they've just got to make it happen when they get possession of the rock.
Indeed, folks, and just another reminder that Game On Sports is more than just the home of Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse. Game On will also be hosting the Texas High School Lacrosse League Championship Tournament in 2 weeks. You can see the full schedule on our website at GameOnSportsNetwork.com and stay up to date on all social media outlets. Just search at Game On Sports Network. So ready for the final stanza here from the Ford Sports Village. 15-6 the advantage for A&M as Garrett Ye easily wins the faceoff. And Missouri will start quarter number 4 on the job.
Yeah, they're doing all things right now. They're winning the faceoff. Let's see how they handle themselves down towards the cage.
Jeremiah Schumacher with possession. He has the ball knocked loose, and there's been a lot of unforced ground balls as they get the ball back to the goaltender, and he'll move it forward.
Yeah,
now the Aggies will go to work.
Yeah, that'll kill you when you miss something like that, but there's still time. But pretty soon, time's going to be a factor.
Yeah, I believe that's like the famous man said, you've got plenty of time until you don't.
Sounds like a Yogi Berra-ism.
Exactly. Well, that 90% of the game is half mental. There we go. Of course, some people think you might be half mental just to play this game.
Yeah.
Hey, let's all get out there on a turf field and run around with 30-inch sticks and play with a hard rubber ball and just throw it at each other.
Try not to get whacked.
Yeah, first 1 to 20 wins, right?
Yeah.
There we go. So the Aggies now in control as Connor Milne will take over an X for Texas A&M. They have 55 on the shot clock, and they look to establish their largest lead of the evening. Milne comes out, goal line extended shot, bounces off of Zach Gowart, and Gowart took the brunt of that right on the chest plate, Tom.
Yeah, he did. That's why they wear those chest protectors.
Yeah, that's going to leave a nice little bruise come tomorrow morning, but Gowart keeps the ball out of goal. Texas A&M retains possession. Another spin-around move by Milne.
That was a good pass.
Picked up by Ryan Squire. He'll take it back up top to Connor Legg. Legg working up top with Connor Cooper as the shot clock hits 55 for the Aggies. Bounce shot by Cooper over the top of goal, out of bounds. Connor Legg brings the ball back into play. The shot clock at 50.
And you see how the Aggies are retaining possession during all these shot attempts. That's crucial. It eats up the clock and keeps Mizzou back on their, on their hind legs.
Now Milne comes goal line extended. Another wraparound shot. This time it works. Third time's a charm for Connor Milne. And the Aggies have their largest lead of the night. A 7-goal advantage. Texas A&M 16, Missouri 9. And we'll take a look at the replay right here. A beautiful spin-around move by Connor Milne to go low on Gowart.
That's about as pretty as they come, too, Brian. That's a shot you can't teach. It's all talent.
And we'll move back into the face-off circle as Jared Cordova will take on Garrett Ye once again. And Ye just cleanly wins that face-off, charging down the middle, puts a shot on goal just wide. How many times have we seen Garrett Ye do that tonight? At least half a dozen.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just flown down there. I mean, he's got great speed as well.
I think he's releasing the ball a little too soon, or
is that what it
too
is?
Softly. The goalie's able to pick that up and watch it.
But, I mean, that's great speed for a young man that's 6'2", 180.
Yes.
He's not a small man, and he moves down there quickly. The Aggies now with possession, bringing the ball down. Caden Bender, number 33. And that ball right into the long cross of TJ Soriano as Missouri will steal the pass in possession.
They've got to make hay with this possession, I think.
I would think here, now that we're approaching 12 minutes to play in the game, and this is a 7-goal advantage, a shot deflected just over the top of goal by the goaltender as Bennett Brenny thought he had that one. 11:52 remaining in the ball game.
That was a good idea, just a little high.
As Missouri will stay on the job. The offensive unit out here, number 13 now, Benny Brenny with possession again. They go to Auble, goal line extended, and he's pushed away by number 6, Brett Mays. But as we were touching on earlier, Salerno puts the ball into X now with Sullivan. As Bryce Sullivan looks for a wraparound shot, no good, deflected in front. And Sullivan there with not the greatest shot choice. He had to get it past 4 Aggies, and it hit 3 of them.
Yeah, it's...
And that pass by Milne, very wide.
Yeah, a little off.
But the Aggies will bring the ball back into play. And do we think there that may have been a lost opportunity? I mean, obviously a lost opportunity for Mizzou, but was that a must-score possession for the Tigers?
It most definitely was, and it's becoming pretty much every time they get the ball.
It is now.
They've got to do something. They're down by 7 goals.
Down by 7 with 11 minutes to play. So every possession now is a must stop for the Tiger defense and a must score for the Tiger offense.
I mean, you're looking at the time, they need to score a goal literally every 45 seconds.
And that shot by Bradley Mays zipped just wide of goal as Ryan Squire will bring the ball back into play, and you're absolutely right. They'll reset the shot clock as it did draw the goalkeeper, Zach Goward. It hit his big net and bounced right over the top. So with a fresh shot clock, this gives the Aggies a chance at the very least to take another 70-plus seconds off the shot clock. And the Aggies, the shot there by number 29, Hunter Rogers. He's roughed up a little as he tries to go inside on Goward. But as you said, the Aggies find a way to maintain possession after the wayward shot.
Yeah, and I think eventually, Brian, we're going to see them slow down just a tad.
Milne with another wraparound attempt goes just wide.
But they're still hungry. They want, I bet, they could get 2 more if they, need to.
Shot clock down to 51 as Rogers will bring the ball into play. Clock moving, 10.5 remaining in the ball game. Milne backs off, moves back into X, or make that Rogers rather. The ball knocked loose, scooped up by Ryan Squire. They go all the way back up top to Connor Milne and Brad Mays. Mays looking for a low shot. He'll fake it and move back out. Ridden well back by the Tigers. I believe that's number 32, Christian Simmons, marking Mays. And that shot deflected just enough for Gowart to get his net on it. And now a must-score possession here for the Tigers as we hit 10 minutes remaining in regulation.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. If they can work that ball to the inside and move it around.
So Schumacher with possession as the shot clock approaches 60. As the Tigers must, you would think they have to convert here in order to stay in touch with the Aggies. 9:15 remaining in the ball game. As they go up top with Ben Hensel. Hensel, goal line extended on the near side with Luke Aubel. Aubel trying to charge inside and open.
Shot.
Look, and a goal.
He's got that shot. He's got it down, too.
The Tigers were able to draw the Aggie defense out away from goal, giving Aubel a clear shot. His 3rd goal of the game, and they've cut the lead to 6 as we look at the shot on the replay.
Well, it's like we were talking about earlier. They've not only every possession do they got to get a shot on goal, but they've got to start making them too, and they just did, and that was a beautiful shot down low.
Just over 9 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter here at the Z-Plex in Melissa, and it's now Texas A&M 16, Missouri 10. As Jared Cordova will battle once again with Garrett Ye in the face-off circle.
I won't be surprised to see Mizzou win this face-off, and they just did.
A shot by Sullivan, and Ye right there dished it off as Sullivan was ready and waiting, and he barely missed the goal. Missed it by just mere inches.
Yeah, and they're glad to get the ball back, too.
Aubel maintains possession, goal line extended on the near side as he'll be marked by Jared Cordova. We approach 9 minutes remaining in regulation, and the Tigers need 6 more goals to tie. 16-10 in favor of A&M.
A&M's defense is really pressing, and that it shows why we're not seeing as many shots on goal by Mizzou.
A shot there by Luke Griffith. Great save by the Aggie goaltender. And we might have to put a pin in that with 8:45 remaining. That might be the save of the match for the Aggies,
It
Tom.
could be. It could be.
Now the Aggies on the attack, 65 on the shot clock. And at the very least, they'll try to get the clock under 8 minutes remaining. Connor Milne on the near side. And he'll wait for the offense to get out on the field.
Watch for this Tiger defense to really lock down, too.
Ben Salazar up top. He's marked by James Wong. As Salazar will go goal line extended on the far side. Shot clock down to 40. He'll wrap all the way around an X. Looking for an outlet, finds Ryan Squire. Squire's low shot, and Squire goes 5-hole for his 3rd goal of the game.
Wow.
And the Aggies reestablish a 7-goal lead.
That happened so quick, it's almost until you saw the ball go in the back of the net, you didn't even see it happen.
No, we look at it here on the replay, and he found just enough room past the right ankle of Zach Gowart to put that ball in the net and make it Texas A&M 17, Missouri 10, with just over 8 minutes remaining in the match.
I think officially, Brian, we're at a time consumption now where time is becoming a huge factor for these Missouri Tigers.
We're under 8 minutes remaining, and the Tigers still trail by 7 goals. So once you get into that, goal per minute type area, then that's when it really becomes critical, and you have to start taking chances. There's just no other way to put it.
You're absolutely right.
That shot deflected by the goalkeeper, and the Tiger player loses his broken cross on the field. As the Aggies will reset, the ball brought across the timeline by Blake Scheinberg. 7:20 remaining in the contest, as the Aggies now have the opportunity to take another 60 seconds off the game, as they've got just under 60 on the shot clock. And I would think this will be a very methodical possession for Coach Cazzero's squad.
I think they still want to score more.
They want to score, but I think they're going to try to take 40 seconds off the clock first.
Yes.
But instead, the errant pass out of bounds will give the Tigers possession. And this, once again, Tom, another must-score opportunity for the Tigers.
We'll see what they can do. I know I'd get that ball out of that long stick, Middy's stick.
Chase McQuarrie trapped in X. Manages to get the ball back, loses it again. Another ground ball opportunity.
He needed to unload that puck.
A&M with the steal and possession. As number 26, Gunnar Husted, will drop it off to Connor Milne. And the lights are beginning to dim for the Missouri Tigers as they trail by 7. And there's less than 6 minutes to play. Milne with a shot off the post. And the save by Zach Goward.
That was a good save.
He was able to deflect that off of his big net.
Turn around, look at this.
Milne with a shot one-on-one, and Milne's not happy with himself. He barely missed that shot. That was just one-on-one, and he missed it.
Yeah, you'd have thought that would have had a different outcome, but it wasn't meant to be.
And nobody in X for the Aggies, so the Tigers will take over as we have 6 minutes remaining in the contest. Folks, we'll try to check in here if we get a moment during a timeout and see if we can get a score for you for the other semifinal taking place just about 200 yards away between Kansas and LSU. LSU leading that game last time we checked by 6 goals. And we'll see if we can get an update on that score to see who will be the opponent for the victor of this game in one of tomorrow's 2 Division I semifinals. And both of those semifinals will be broadcast live right here on Game On Sports tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Central.
You know, these Aggies are going about their business like they're down by 1 goal. They've not let up 1 iota. They're not milking the clock. They're still moving the puck around. They want another goal.
And working on the far side, that's number 9, Blake Scheinberg. A late entry into the game as he's working with Connor Milne. They've taken the shot clock down to 40. And the game clock moves under 5 minutes remaining. Milne with a low shot. It's past Goward. And it will be Aggie ball. As Eli Williams brings the ball back into play. 30 seconds on the shot clock for Texas A&M. Williams comes all the way back up top. He's in no hurry. So even at this point, if the Aggies just take all the time off the shot clock, that's really not a bad situation, is it? Because they're able to take 80 seconds of game time away from Missouri.
Yeah, they pretty much know now that they've wrapped this game up. They're just playing smart, not trying to turn the ball over.
Bear with a shot attempt. He bounces it off the post. But not in time, as Ivan Isaac rules that the shot clock had expired. So now Missouri with another chance. Just over 4 minutes to play. Charging down the field on the far side, number 2, Zach Strojcic. Strojcic will offload to Jeremiah Schumacher. Schumacher's shot into the back of the net. There on the side, I believe they call that a mom goal. And now Auble earns a penalty. Now we're starting to see the frustration from the Tiger players.
Yes, sir, that's all this is.
As normally not what you see from Luke Auble, but evidently fairly frustrated here at the outcome here at the Z-Plex this evening.
I don't think these
And
Tigers.
now a second penalty flag coming in, as we've got multiple flags against the Tigers. The Aggies continue to play the advantage.
I just don't think they're used to being down by this many goals, and like you said, it can be frustrating.
The Aggies have 45 on the shot clock, and once play is halted or if Missouri has possession, well, that might negate some of it, as Jared Cordova.
Little insult to injury.
Yeah, unfortunately so. Jared Cordova puts his name in the scorebook for the Aggies, and he'll increase Texas A&M's lead. A nice goal here as we look at the replay by Cordova. Now we'll get the penalty call, as we had two separate penalties on the play. The Aggies have extended their lead. It's now Texas A&M 18, Missouri 10.
That, my friend, is a comfortable lead.
2:44 remaining in the game.
But watch how this Missouri Tiger faces off. He gets that ball every time.
And he's so quick. Well, now we say that, and Cordova that was number 14. Actually gave Ye a challenge there.
There went a penalty flag.
Now more penalty flags. And the clock stopped with 3:08 remaining.
I think that's going to go down as an illegal block.
And a 1 minute penalty for an illegal block being assessed against Missouri. We'll take a look at the penalty on the replay, as the shot from behind by Davis Dirks will earn him 60 seconds in timeout.
I hated being put into timeout. I was always sat in the corner.
So the clock moving now, or they'll stop the clock.
Referee's giving a little instruction of his own.
There it is.
And all was quiet when he instructed.
Yeah, I think that might be the first time I've ever heard the referee casually offer to the team, to one of the teams, to read the rule book. I like that. So we move under 3 minutes remaining here as the Aggies' man-up advantage continues. They have about 30 seconds remaining on the man-up advantage, as we have about 2.5 minutes remaining in the game here at the Z-Plex in Melissa. Ben Salazar working up top with Connor Milne. Squire moving it back to X with Bradley Mays. They look for a cutting Connor leg. And darting in to scoop up the loose ball, that's Zach Gowert. A nice save there for Missouri. And TJ Soriano will start the attack for the Tigers with just over 2 minutes remaining.
It's been a fast game despite the score. It's been a fast game. The clocks ran fast all game long, meaning that there had been too many interruptions.
And the penalty now expired. Missouri back at full strength. We have a stoppage of time here with 2:06 remaining. Pardon me, we'll reset the clock there. 1 minute, 14 seconds remaining. 1:14 remaining here in this semifinal, or pardon me, in this quarterfinal. And the winner advancing to one of two Division I semifinals. We'll have both of those for you right here on Game On Sports Network. They will start at 4 p.m. Central Time, but folks, we'll have Division III and Division II semifinal action before that. The day starts right here on Game On Sports at 10 a.m. with the Division III semifinals for the Lone Star Alliance, and those should be two very exciting games. And Tom, we'll have the game between Oklahoma State and the Houston Cougars, and that should be a barn burner.
Yeah, both teams come to bear with a lot of talent and good coaching, and it will be a good game, and we're looking forward to bringing it to you.
So that will be the Division III semifinals at 10 a.m. Central, the Division II semifinals at 1 p.m. Central, and then the final games of semifinal Saturday, the Division I semifinals, 4 p.m. Central Time. All those games broadcast live for you right here on Game On Sports Network. So 74 seconds remain in regulation play here as the Aggies have an 8-goal lead. The clock now moving. 50 seconds on the shot clock for Missouri as they look to put another tally on the board and make the final score a little bit more respectable.
1 minute, 1 minute.
You're inside the final minute of play here in the fourth quarter. Up top for Missouri, number 11, Luke Griffith. Griffith being challenged by Scheinberg. Griffith looks for a shot and just floats it over the top of goal. I think Scheinberg may have deflected his cross somewhat there, as Missouri will bring the ball back into play. 25 on the shot clock, 45 in the game.
Yeah, they've had a lot of missed opportunities tonight, these Tigers.
And Schumacher impales the crossbar. How far did that ball must have gone 35, 40 yards in the air off the crossbar. That was amazing. I hope our ace cameraman there, Chris Reniger, got that shot. That was, I've just been amazed by the way the ball has popped off the iron here in both of these semifinals we've covered tonight. Luke Abel knocks the ball out of the cross of Gunnar Husted. And now a little bit of extracurricular activity here on the out-of-bounds marker as we're inside of 20 seconds remaining in the match.
Hey, you're good. You're good. Let's go, Ag. He's an Army man. He's an Army man. Army man.
The Aggies will have possession as Ian McDowell will bring the ball back into play. They have 77 on the shot clock, so all the Aggies need to do is just take these final 17-plus seconds off the clock, and they will punch their ticket to one of the two semifinals tomorrow at 4 p.m. here on Game On Sports Network.
6, 5, 4 seconds. Wait. 4 seconds.
So with just over 4 seconds remaining, the Aggies will bring the ball back into play.
You know, Brian, these Tigers, they've got a lot of fight in them, and the score doesn't really reflect the talent that they have on their team. They just fell short. Their shots weren't going in the cage, and they've learned something valuable from this defeat, but they'll be back, and they'll be back with vengeance.
Indeed. And, folks, the final horn is sounded here at the Z-Plex in Melissa, Texas, ending our Division I quarterfinal. And your final score here from Melissa, Texas, it's Texas A&M 18, Missouri 10. So Texas A&M will advance to one of the two quarterfinals tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on Game On Sports Network. And, Tom, as we wrap up today's action here from the Ford Sports Village in Melissa, your final thoughts on this dominating win by the Aggies here this evening?
Well,
as we look at some replay highlights.
They both came to play. Aggies obviously came out way on top. I'm just proud to be a part of it and to witness, these good two clubs going at it. And A&M, it'll be exciting to watch them advance.
It will indeed, and we'll see who they will face off, if it will be A&M against LSU or if it will be A&M against Kansas. But be sure to stay up to date here. We'll have all of that information for you on our social media outlets. Simply search at Game On Sports Network for the full lineup of tomorrow's games. The first game Tom and I will have for you tomorrow will be at 10 a.m. Central Time as we present one of two Lone Star Alliance Division III semifinal matchups between Oklahoma State and Houston, to be followed by the Division II semifinals at 1 p.m. and then the Division I semifinals at 4 p.m., all coming to you live here on Game On Sports Network. And folks, tonight's Lone Star Alliance Division I quarterfinal lacrosse playoff broadcast is a copyrighted production of Game On Sports Network and the Lone Star Alliance. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this broadcast without the express consent of Game On Sports Network and the Lone Star Alliance is strictly prohibited. Well, that wraps up tonight's broadcast from Ford Sports Village at the Z-Plex in Melissa. And we thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending some of your Friday night with us. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow afternoon for Lone Star Alliance semifinal Saturday right here on Game On Sports. Your final score once again in tonight's Division I quarterfinal, Texas A&M 18, Missouri 10. On behalf of our entire Game On Sports crew, executive producer Fred Garner, operations manager Trevor Von Dam, tonight's producer and director Tim Polster, our outstanding camera crew, our support staff Lisa Carrillo, Michael Gaddis, and Jen Von Dam, and my broadcast partner Tom McGee. This is Brian Shackelford, thanking you for joining us this evening and for your continued support of the Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse Championships. Until tomorrow morning, good night and God bless from Melissa, Texas.